Coming up on Good Morning Texas.
Austin B-Cycle at UT.
Queso with a cop.
And we give you a look at the hijabi monologues.
All this and more coming up on Good Morning Texas.
Good morning, Texas. It's Wednesday, April 4th. I'm Hannah Sauer.
I'm Baylee Wang.
And I'm Gabrielle Wong. Thanks for joining us at GMTX this morning.
So how are y'all this morning?
Really good. It's early, as always, but I really wasn't ready for walking out this morning and feeling that cold weather, just that breeze hit me as soon as I walked out on my way here.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, it's so hard to go
I know. Like 4 steps felt like 4 miles at a certain point in time.
Exactly.
Walking definitely does get tiring.
I know, for sure.
Well, speaking of transportation, it's only been a month and a half since the new B-Cycle stations have appeared all around campus. Our Baylee Wang looked into how popular biking really is on campus and what went in behind the scenes of the transportation alternative, B-Cycle.
Just like waking up or brushing your teeth to get ready for class, students plan their commute to and around campus each day, either by getting their steps in or, for many, biking their way around the 40 acres.
With the campus being so big, it's just so much easier just to bike instead of walking everywhere. The only downside is that there are hills everywhere, so it's really a pain going up those, but besides that, it's a huge benefit of biking instead of walking.
With biking being such a popular transportation alternative on campus, it was almost a miracle that the new B-Cycle stations appeared overnight. I spoke with B-Cycle executive Elliot McFadden a little about the planning that went in behind it all.
When we knew there was some interest, we did a survey back in November of 2016 with Bike Austin and showed overwhelming interest from the student body in having B-Cycle expand on campus. And so we've been working with the University of Texas and with a grant that the City of Austin received to add 9 new locations to the 2 that were already on the drag, and so far it's been an enormous success.
And Elliot is right. In the last only 40 days, 15% of the student body has joined the bike share pilot, and 83% of the enrolled student body has ridden at least once.
Bicycles are a low-cost way and a healthy way to get around the city. With more and more traffic congestion we see in Austin, that's not going to be getting any better anytime soon. We're looking for other ways for people to get around. And B-Cycle is a great way to get on and off campus, but also to get around other parts of the city.
Baylee Wang, Good Morning Texas.
And I actually really love those B-Cycle things. I actually hadn't ridden one or tried it out until I was putting together that package and actually going and doing and interviewing some people, but I actually forgot I knew how to ride a bike at a certain point in time, but thankfully I did for sure. Yeah,
I actually use them all the time, and I love them. It's great to go from here to West Campus or just from your dorm to certain college. It's a lot faster, and there's stations all around. So
yeah, and they're all over the city too.
Yeah, it's it's very convenient. They place it in a very good spots.
Yeah, and they're available at all points of time, and from the afternoon to 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So always. And it's also a really safe thing to do too if you don't want to walk by yourself. Biking I think would be a lot better. And speaking of safety, UTPD and APD came together at the local hotspot Qdoba to meet with students and enjoy a Longhorn favorite, queso. We went to see what it was all about.
There's usually what we've been trying to do for the last year and a half or so is kind of not really merge the 2 departments because they're very separate entities, but we've been just trying to make sure that UTPD and APD are working more together. I think it's just a good way that we can get the UT students involved with both UTPD and APD, sort of in a neutral setting where they can ask any questions that they may have or share their concerns.
Well, I just kind of stumbled across a Facebook event, and I've always been a big proponent for our police department and police enforcement, so I figured it was probably high time that I met a couple more of them that specifically have to do with our campus as well, and just tell them I appreciate them and get to know them some.
This is Rolando Hernandez for Good Morning Texas.
Well,
I don't
that
know.
must have been super fun, especially because there was queso. I love queso.
You know what? I'm from Texas. I love Tex-Mex, so I definitely love queso for sure. And places around Austin to get queso, absolutely the best. Like, what's some of y'all's favorite places? Like, what do you think?
Torchies.
Really?
Torchies. Yeah, I really
that's
like
really
them.
good.
And Kirby's. Kirby's
Oh,
is always
Kirby's is
good.
so amazing. Me and my roommate have talked a little bit before about going out to all the places in Austin and just getting all the queso and coming back to our dorm and having like a taste competition to see who places the best queso.
That sounds so fun. Yeah. Speaking of which, the hijabi monologue creates a theater space for Muslim women and their experience. The monologues is a stage performance that tour around the world, and Austin was lucky enough to be one of its stops. Our Hannah Sauer and Taylor Courtney explore their stories and give us a glimpse into the life of a hijabi woman.
The hijabi monologue showcased the voices of 8 different women, allowing the audience to see new perspectives of the women's everyday life. The play took the audience through laughter and sadness as the women told their stories.
My biggest vision for the show, as well as AJ's, was to just be a humanitarian piece. We didn't want to whitewash it in any way, but we wanted to make it applicable to everyone. And I think, or I hope at least, that was woven throughout. That these were stories of humanity versus anything else.
The performances had material relatable to everyone and was met by an engaged audience that was eager to participate. We talked to an audience member after and asked her opinion on the play.
I thought the performance was really good. Like, it was definitely really eye-opening. I think it was a show that everybody could take something from, no matter if they're Muslim or not, even if they were a hijab or not. It was a good mix of like sadness and like there was a lot of laughing too. So I really liked it.
The play has been performed all around the world and has met many different audiences with different opinions. We spoke to the creator of the show and asked her what she hoped to accomplish with these performances and what she wants the audience to take from them.
When people come in, they probably have questions, and I hope that after the show, they leave with better questions. So maybe before the show, they might come in with questions like, why are Muslim women oppressed? Or why do they choose to oppress themselves by wearing the headscarf? And I hope that they realize that when they watch the stories that those questions don't really get at what people are actually thinking about.
So Hannah, how's that?
It was actually really cool to go to. It was definitely an eye-opening experience to see them tell their stories, and it was so awesome to just see what they had to say and see it from a different perspective. Yeah, it was definitely really cool to go to. I recommend it if they ever come back around.
And I know like UT has like a ton of events like this going on. Like I had no idea that was going on, but it's just so amazing how many like events that has where it just opens your eyes and you get to see new things going on here for sure.
Yeah. Well, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Baylee with the day's top stories.
And I'll give you a look at this week's weather forecast.
We'll be back with more Good Morning Texas.
We're back with Baylee in our News and Weather Center. What's the latest in the news, Baylee?
In national news, a devastating SUV crash off a cliff in Northern California is still under ongoing investigation. The crash happened on March 26th and killed at least 5 members of the Washington State family. The parents and 3 adopted children were found dead, but authorities are still on the search for the 3 other missing children who were in the car. California Highway Patrol investigators say that this crash may have been intentional, as the software in the car indicates that the Hart family stopped at a scenic pullover area, then increased its speed up to 90 miles per hour before plunging off a cliff into the Pacific Ocean. Authorities are looking into possible child abuse that may have been occurring from the data given, but the SUV is still under inspection. Big changes are happening around Austin as the Austin Fire Department announced their new interim fire chief yesterday. The interim chief will be taking the place of Austin's first female fire chief, Chief Rhoda May Kerr. Kerr sent in her memo of resignation in February, and Austin Fire has been on the search for an interim chief ever since. The department's chief of staff, Assistant Chief Tom Dodds, has been selected by the city manager, Spencer Cronk, to serve as the new chief for the time being. Dodd has been part of the Austin Fire Department for 32 years and will be taking Chief Kerr's place after her departure on July 1st, as she will be taking on a new role in Florida. Along with new positions opening up and being filled in Austin, there are many eventful things going on around the 40 acres as well. Yesterday, Colton Becker and Miraz Rahman were sworn into office as the new UT student body president and vice president. After a long election process of 1 true election and 2 re-elections to follow that, the two will finally be able to take on the roles that they have been working towards. Their team has been attending multiple meetings with the current student body president and VP to get the idea of the changes in the community and what to expect for this coming year. Colton and Miraz campaigned on the platform points of preventing sexual assault and improving student health, living, and empowerment, and the Longhorns are excited to see what they have in store. Their inauguration ceremony will be on Sunday, April 15th, after leading 2 student government meetings where they hope they will appoint their new executive board.
Thank you, Baylee.
So the weather has been so inconsistent lately, don't you think?
Yes, like I'm always confused. What am I supposed to wear all the time?
Right, it goes from like humid to rainy to sunny. I just never know what to expect anymore.
Exactly.
How is the weather looking, Baylee?
Well, Gabby and Hannah, throughout the past few days, they have been quite inconsistent on the 40 acres. But hey, I guess that's just Texas for you. Well, look forward to more of that this week with sunny skies most days, but possible clouds and rains that will bring in the weekend. Though yesterday was cloudy and humid, you will be seeing the sun come out again as you walk to class this morning with a beautiful high of 71 and a refreshing low of 51 as night approaches. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny and warm with a high of 79 and a low of 66. We may begin to see some storms on Friday, though, with a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day and winds up to 20 miles per hour. Friday will have a humid high of 82 and dip back down to 55 later into the evening. But get ready for a cool Saturday with mostly cloudy skies with a high in the high 60s and a low in the 50s. But Texas will live up to its name of having crazy weather ups and downs daily. So expect the sun to come out again on Sunday with highs in the 80s and lows in the 60s. So keep up with the weather this week, Longhorns, as things will be a bit crazy, but nothing we can't handle. We may even get a chance to see some April showers welcome in spring on the 40 acres. Live from the Weather Center, I'm Baylee Wang.
Thanks, Baylee.
Looks like there's a little bit for everyone in this week's weather to come.
Yeah.
I personally love it when it's like sunny outside, when it's warm, so I'm excited for those parts. Like the highs in the 80s, I'm very excited for that.
I'm so happy that we're gonna see some sun, like in just throughout the week, honestly.
Right? Like I'm in Texas for the sun. Well, don't go anywhere. We're bringing back our UT Help segment, and we'll be dazzling you with some magic too.
Stay tuned for more Good Morning Texas.
With so much change coming out of UT, we wanted to focus on the organizations and individuals that are heading efforts to better our community by bringing back a segment called UT Helps. For our first installment this term, we are going to focus on Capital Community, which sends groups of UT students out to underprivileged elementary schools in Austin. Capital Community teaches students basic financial skills so that they are more prepared for a successful future. Representing Capital Community, this morning, Anna Anderson, the president of Capital Community, has joined us for an interview. Thanks for joining us, Anna.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, tell us about the inspiration behind Capital Community.
So Capital Community came from the initial idea of fighting predatory lending, which, as you might know, is a big issue in Austin, as well as especially in low-income families and communities, because they need money to pay for certain things that just come up, and people take advantage of that. And so we wanted to make more communities in Austin aware of this and try to combat it through knowledge and financial literacy information.
Okay, very good. What are the biggest financial problems that these undeserved communities face?
I think it's a variety of issues, one of which that we try to focus on is developing sound spending habits from youth. So we start with elementary school children, and it's just that financial information is not necessarily easy to find, and even when you do find it, it's not always easy to understand. For some reason, people like to put all this fancy jargon around things that they don't need. And so I think a big issue is just a lack of information as well as a lack of transparency within kind of the financial world.
Okay. And what kinds of lessons do you teach to alleviate these problems?
So we teach just about everything. We start with the elementary school kids and teach sound financial principles such as saving your money, putting it in banks, how to earn interest on your money. We teach even things such as opportunity costs, so why you can't always have everything, and how to kind of prioritize your money when you do get it. And that's what we kind of focus on for the elementary school kids, but we do have older programs as well that teach pretty much anything you might need to know, so how to file your taxes, what a credit card is, differences between credit cards and debit cards, how to finance college or grad school, and pretty much anything that a person might need to know that they weren't exactly taught in school or anywhere else.
Okay, what does the UT group of Capital Communities work on?
We work on developing the curriculum for elementary students, so really focusing on how we can best teach this information while making it fun and entertaining, because money isn't always fun to talk about. I mean, kids are excited about it, but unless you give it to them, they aren't super elated. So we really focus on trying to keep the kids engaged and really relating to the people that we teach to. And I think that that shows in our curriculum across all of the ages. So from the elementary school kids to the high school kids to parents as well.
Okay. And then what would you tell a UT student looking to get involved with Capital Community?
I would tell them definitely look at our Facebook page or be willing to reach out to us. We recruit new members every fall and every spring. And if you're looking for something that's relatively low maintenance, you don't have to put a lot of time into it, but you can if you want. Capital Community is a great way to give back and meet other really great students as well.
Well, amazing. Thank you so much for coming out today. Stay tuned for some magic coming your way on Good Morning Texas.
We're back with some magic. UT Theater and Dance major Juan Leva, also known as the Juan and Only, is here with us. He's a budding magician, who has some tricks to show off this morning. Thank you for joining us, Juan. So take it away.
Thank you very much. I want to ask if you could please hold this. That'll
Yes,
become very
got it.
important in a moment.
Okay.
That just belongs to a broom that I took apart. And what I have in here is nothing more than just 2 strings. And would you mind checking that out and make sure that is everything what it seems to be, and you as well?
Yes, it is a string.
And here's what we're going to do. Could you go ahead and hold that? I'll go ahead and hold this one for you.
Okay.
Hold that out straight,
Yes.
and what I want you to do is go ahead and tie that around my thumb.
Okay, just like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just that, and
Not
go ahead,
or just like this?
Pull it as tight as you can.
Okay.
As tight
Got it.
as you can.
Really?
Pull it one more
Are you
time.
good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Pull it one more time. Okay, now go ahead and tie one more knot, please, just to make sure that one
Got
doesn't come
it.
undone.
Under here?
Uh-huh.
Perfect. Great. Wish it was a Girl Scout. It wasn't. But I can fake it pretty well, can I?
And then you're going to go ahead and pull that all the way through.
Like
all right,
all the way-
yeah,
okay.
and there you go. That is good for you. And you're going to copy the exact same thing. Could you hold on to that?
Okay, hold
go
on.
ahead.
So I'll just leave it.
That's fine. Go ahead, just like that. Now go ahead and tie one basic little knot, and then go ahead and pull it as tight as you can. Tight, 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 tight.
Is this
Tighter.
good?
No,
Is
I
this
need
good?
it tighter, tighter.
Okay.
I want you to make sure I can't
Oh my
get out.
God.
Alrighty, there you go. And you can tell they're tight by the shade of my thumbs now.
Yes. And another
go ahead and tie
one?
one more knot, yes. And pull that as tight as you can. It's okay if it hurts. I want you to make sure that I cannot get out of this. And you all did that, yes?
Yes.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to intertwine these really quick. Okay, now go ahead and take those 2 closest to you.
This
Yes, and
2?
tie another knot the same way you did. Go ahead and do the
Okay.
same
Okay.
thing on this
Cool.
side.
I'm like, here we go.
Tie as tight as you can, tight as you can. It doesn't matter if it hurts. Keep going, keep going,
my
keep going.
God.
Make my thumbs turn purple.
Here, we're just gonna like.
Go ahead, keep going, and tie another knot just to make sure that's secure.
Okay.
Hope this
Tie
goes
it tight
well.
as tight as you can. Hopefully it goes well. Now,
is
there
it-
you go. You're
okay.
both good.
Okay.
Now I'm pretty secure in there, and I like doing things that are a little different that you can't really look up online. Hopefully, people get inspired by this and decide to look more into it. Could you take the back? Darn. I forgot. Yeah, we're in a little bit of a situation here. Well, can you do me a favor? Could you just grab that and hold on to that, please?
Oh.
Thank you. And I want you to ensure that I'm still very much tight in there, yes?
Yes, you are.
And here's what we are going to try. Can you go ahead and take that that pole, and I want you to hold it up here, and I want you to hold one part down here.
Like kiss?
Yes,
Kiss?
and then
Alright.
hold it out like straight. You can put that on the ground.
Okay.
And basically, go ahead and put your arm on my shoulder.
Shoulder?
And you're going to hold your arms out as straight as they can be to make sure that they're as sturdy as they can be. You see what I mean?
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a little weird. You can put that down. I'm sorry about that. Y'all tie some really weird knots now, don't you?
Yeah.
So here's what we're going to try. Go ahead and lift your hand up at the top. You're going to like take it off really quick so I can put my hands inside.
Okay.
Yeah. And what we're going to try to do, so I can put them through, just like put your hand back on top, is this is very solid, so we're going to make sure that I can't get through this. And basically what we're going to try to do is get
wow.
through this, yes?
Okay.
And we're going to try that on the count of 3, yes? And we have to...
Again,
yeah.
Okay.
So we have to build some sort of suspense. You can go ahead and come on this side. I want you to see it too.
Okay.
All right. 1! I'm kidding. We have to build suspense, right? 2 and 3, just like this.
Oh, wow.
Get those to go right through there. Go ahead and put your arm out at the bottom so I can come out just like this. Thank you very much. Those are still tied together. That is a solid pole. Thank you very much for being my volunteers. I got to go get untied.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Thank you all very much for having me on.
Awesome. No, thank you so much, Mom. Well, that was the one and only.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming this morning, and thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Good Morning TX. I'm Gabrielle Wong.
And I'm Baylee Wang.
Have a wonderful day.